What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel here. I am. Today we are going to be talking and having a spoiler discussion. We're going to have a spoiler discussion talking about Hawkeye Episode 4, Partners. Am I right? And as always, I am joined here today with my very special guest, Chillmonger.
Hello,
What is
hello,
up?
hello. Doing pretty good on this special episode of Hawkeye. It's special because I'll get into it.
All right. Well, I guess starting right off, what did you think about episode 4 here?
It continued things that I complained about in prior episodes. I just don't like how guns seem to conveniently be there when you need it to be there for some effects and whatnot. And it's not when it's not there. That's the biggest takeaway from this. Was it good aside from that? Yeah, it was nice. The little family moment with Kate and mom and Jacques Duquesne. I enjoyed it. At the time, I enjoyed it. It's not until later on we find out Swordsman is actually, he's got the shell company. He's the CEO of it, which funds these tracksuit folks. I get that. Sorry, am I giving too long of an answer, Trinity? You just asked me what I thought of it. I thought
Nah, go right ahead.
it had high highs, but the continued lowness, it just you don't get points. When you tie things up, you get a lot of points. It's something I credited for the first couple episodes, but the last two was too convenient when it comes to weapons.
Yeah, I guess I can't disagree with you there. I think this fourth episode, I thought it was good. It didn't leave me though feeling like the first three episodes did. Like the first three episodes, I was pretty like, man, I think these are probably the best three episodes to start one of these MCU Disney Plus series. I thought they were really good. While I thought this episode was really good, even with everything that happened here in the episode, I thought it was pretty good. It just kind of it seemed like it kind of leveled off here, which I guess kind of makes sense considering we're getting the penultimate episode next week. You know, the one that's kind of probably bring the excitement, the most excitement right before we get the very last episode, which is gonna tie things up nicely in episode 6. So. But yeah, I would say I wasn't as excited and hyped on this episode, but I think it kind of falls right there in line with the rest of the series so far. Definitely.
hmm
Definitely.
Well, I'll get into if we're trying to do it in order, I might f it up, but I really think that guns are projectile weapons that can shoot things from far away. They're deadly. They're great things for criminals to have. One of the criminals had it in his car, but Hawkeye scoped it out. He even got the knife that was supposed to be the mirror thing. He got the knife that was underneath, and he said, "I know that villains carry guns and they're not afraid to use them." Understood. Where the heck was Echo's gun? Echo had a silent alarm. Okay, if I see a silent alarm, what do I do? First thing I reach for is the thing that's going to save my life. She took a decent amount of time to get to Kate Bishop, but she didn't reach over and get the gun to bring it with her. It's not until she brought it to the roof later on. This is unacceptable. This is one of those reasons that everyone complains about where you just check boxes. You wanted to have a deaf character, but not consider what that entailed. You thought, okay, the mission is being accomplished here because we're introducing something that to an audience who you have all of our senses, and we didn't ever realize, huh? Lights like that are for deaf people. That's not. I mean, and they are right. Every fire, fire drill, every fire freaking not a fire drill, the alarm. They come with
Yeah.
lights too. It's for
Yeah.
everyone. The hearing impaired as well. Okay, good guys. Good job, Marvel. You guys are, putting out the good word of these people who are disabled. But that was your goal. It wasn't to put a good story together because you would have thought that part through. Another thing they didn't think through was when Clint was on his elevator ride down after mom was done talking to him. He goes on his phone. On the screen of the phone. He's not hiding it. Every elevator, especially in a rich building like that, has cameras on it. They're gonna see what you're looking at. Plus, he goes and starts texting Laura, texting exactly what he wants. Bruh, you can't do that. There's cameras there, and the people who you're hiding from have easy access
Yeah.
to it. That's exactly what the mom did, because we know she went on the phone later on and she said something urgent.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
The guys just tighten it up.
Yeah, it's certainly some things in there, kind of a lot of little things here and there. Which I mean, I guess they would kind of play into kind of a story like you're talking about here exactly too, where it's like you like what are you doing? Like this kind of doesn't make sense. So while they are getting, I think they're doing really good on some writing aspects of this series. Definitely, there are definitely things like that that they're probably not thinking about. Like, oh, hey, it's all good. And I think it's funny that you bring up that that text message, and then even later that conversation with Laura Barton. What what level of clearance does Laura Barton have?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's a good question. How many floors are she allowed in the Shield headquarters? Maybe she's a Shield agent and she wanted out. She wanted to settle down. I'll take that answer. That's the answer.
yeah, yeah.
She
When
could be a scroll.
and honestly, that's almost what I started thinking scrolls right when the part where Kate was sitting there fighting with Echo, and she's like, oh, I'm sitting here fighting, I'm sitting here fighting with with Maya, and he's like, well, he's like, so am I, and it's like I was like, oh, are we really going there? Is this a scroll thing? And like, yeah, I don't know, but I thought it was interesting seeing. I mean, obviously we get more of the watch. What's with the watch? It definitely wasn't Tony's watch, because the watch Tony was wearing in like Civil War II, where he had the little thing on there. And not to say that he couldn't have others, but it was definitely a different kind of watch. But then, what does that watch? What is with that watch? Considering it has a tracker in it that they've been tracking. It's
It
very
should have
just
been
interesting.
destroyed years ago, is what Laura said. And years
Yeah.
ago, I think that's longer than Avengers Endgame. And I don't know what that means. It's before Tony's nanotech, I'm guessing. It is from a time prior, right? What are they tracking? I have no answer to that question, but we'll get the answer. That's not something I'm like, oh, I wonder if they'll leave that open ended. I'm pretty sure we'll find out.
Yeah, I thought that whole little thing there with Laura was interesting anyway, considering it. How does she have all these connections? Who she know? Who she's been in contact with? What's she doing with that kind of access?
Hmm.
She knows about the Ronin suit. She knows about the watch. Are they connected in any way? Which I kind of feel like maybe they are, because the watch is what the tracksuit mafia was at after when they went to that auction in the first place. And like I was saying last week, I think they just stumbled upon the Ronin thing by happenstance, and that's what got Echo involved even more here. Kind of got her, how would you say, more emotionally charged and kind of not thinking, kind of in her right frame of mind, which again came back around in this episode when Clint Barton goes to Kazi to talk to him when he was in the car, conveniently, where he scoped out and got those weapons.
Quite conveniently.
the So it
Yeah,
does.
that's the bit. No, no, that's just we can't understate how stupid it is that sometimes they have guns. Remember the chase scene in the last episode, but then this time it's like, what are guns? There's things that are useful. Can I get to Yelena?
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right
Ye-
ahead.
Yelena Belova. All right, she's a grown up. She's a Black Widow, trained for years and years. The final mission she did as a Black Widow was when she was scoping out that one chick. Was it in Morocco? And she's up on top of a ceiling. In this show, they made it very clear. Kate talked to Clinton. She's like, hey, why don't we have like a higher ground or something? He's like, no, it's all about the exit. You want to be somewhere lower. It's easy. Okay. Establish that there are countless amount of buildings that are higher than the building that they're on. Yelena Belova, being a sniper, a trained assassin, paid to assassinate, according to what Clint is his own words. He said, oh, they hired a Black Widow assassin to come and get me. Okay, then why didn't Yelena assassinate? Yelena did not shoot at all. Did she not bring a gun? Was she not there to assassinate? Was she there just to try him out? I don't get it. I knew it was Yelena too when she did the little snapmare takeover that we saw her do inside of the red room in that fight. I'm like, that body language. I know that the fighting is similar, so good job for them with keeping consistency. But when it comes to weapons again, and someone had a weapon up on that in that fight, in that four-way fight, somebody had a weapon and they kicked it down the building. It's like, oh, now there's guns now.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of
Mm.
things kind of convenient. Well, and I was even thinking the same thing when like Black Widow came in. When she came in, or Yelena
Yelena.
came
Well, she is
in.
a Black Widow.
Is
Is she
she?
the Black Widow? I don't think so.
Has she earned the title, the mantle? Is
Of
Kate
the
Bishop
mental,
gonna
yes.
earn it? I don't know.
No, she's not earning it in 6 days. No way.
But
I'm surprised with how
oh, I was gonna say one of the things I was thinking about though was, we seen at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, or I guess it was the end of Black Widow. I'm sorry, where she goes and she meets with Valentina Contessa D. Blah, you know who I'm talking about. She meets with Val.
Alejandro Estrada. Yeah.
she she goes and meets with her, and and it was funny because she was talking about, we know who killed Natasha. It was him, and it was Clint in the Ronin suit. And I think the Ronin suit is kind of what brought up the flags for not only for Echo but also for Black Widow and got her there. I don't necessarily feel like she was on to Clint necessarily at that time. Otherwise, she had plenty of opportunities to when his kids were around and things like that. And so I feel like that, like the Ronin thing, is kind of what really brought her there. And then I just feel like if she was there, really, because that was kind of my question, is like, what is she there for? She's not there to kill Clint. If she was there to kill Clint, just like you said, there's a better outlook somewhere. She would have just sniped the fool out and said, done. I don't have to go down there and fight him. There don't have to be any
Yep.
chances of him surviving or anything. I could snipe him out from here. Done. She's trained with multiple weapons and all that stuff. We know that she can snipe. So, yeah. Why not snipe him out?
Yeah, I better find out in the next episode. I wasn't there to kill you. I was there to punch your face. Something like that.
I was there to punch your face. I was mad you
Hey,
killed
better than me.
Natasha.
You're good at accents.
Oh.
What does your southern accent sounds like? I think there's a couple of puzzle pieces I can be putting together right now.
Well, I'm definitely multicultural. Definitely
Hmm.
multicultural. So, but one of the things I think it was just kind of interesting here as we see all of these things going down. One of the I was talking the other day. Was that yesterday in the stream about kind of some of the things that have been coming out here with some of the characters we know, like Charlie Cox Daredevil was announced by Kevin Feige to be coming back, and I thought it was interesting considering that we know that, especially with all the things, because I was thinking about all these characters they're kind of bringing in that are related to like Daredevil, Kingpin, and all these, even some of these characters that have shown up in the shows. I believe one of the things I was talking about was like, who are they introducing? What all characters are they bringing in here? Because we see they've got Echo. We see it looks like they're alluding to Kingpin big time here. And then we just like all of these characters. We know Matt Murdock is coming back. It seems like they're really expanding that kind of more ground level of villains and everything. And it made me start to wonder, who is it that Kate Bishop's mother is then? Who is Eleanor Bishop?
Yeah, this fish, something's really fishy about her. She was actually kind of really startled when she saw Clint. Like, was there an Avenger in my dining room? It wasn't like, whoa, Avenger. It was more so, is she on to me? What's going on? Type of scare. She is just as dirty as Jacques Duquesne is. And this this unity, that this marriage, this bond is not for anything but two crime syndicates strengthening themselves. It's like in Game of Thrones when Cersei would marry off her kids to like the other group, the Tyrells, is it? No, the Dorne. Yeah, whatever. You guys watch the show, you know what I'm talking about.
um yeah, I don't watch I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but I mean, considering what we've seen there, and like you're talking about with that interaction there, it kind of made me wonder, after that whole little scene there with all everyone together, was Eleanor threatening Clint Barton?
Yeah, when she said what she said about Kate, right? Like
Yeah, like leave my daughter alone in case I didn't make it clear enough, basically, is what I took out of it.
basically she started off with a shot when she reminded him about Natasha. Like she's really good at what she does. He complimented her, archer to archer. She goes, yeah, Natasha was good at what she did too, wasn't she?
Right. She
That one hurt me. I'm just a viewer.
Yeah, yeah, she's being very sinister. She's
Sinister, but is she being a mother and being protective also? It works both ways, and then we're supposed to be on our toes guessing, which is a good job.
right.
Do you lean more towards sinister though? I'd say it's more sinister than it is just motherly.
Yeah, I think she seems very sinister. I think she seems very sinister throughout, just kind of the way she's been acting and everything, and just everything, the way the series has progressed and everything. She just seems even more so because it seems like she's kind of pulling this fast one on everyone, which brings me to like who is she actually working for? I mean, is she working for Kingpin if that's who indeed they're bringing in, or is she working for Power Broker? Is she working for Val? Is
Oh,
Val the Power Broker?
I thought Sharon, like that person, was the power broker. That was revealed when she made that phone call at the end of Falcon Winter Soldier.
I just feel like there was so much going on because I mean, even what's his name in that scene at the end, he stepped in. He's like, "Oh, you're the power broker," huh? And he points a gun at her. It's like it didn't really seem definite. She didn't say yes. She didn't say no. It's just like you're mistaking me for somebody else. I'm not going to confirm or disconfirm that, but I'm not going to say anything because there's plenty of other people around that kind of not giving information out that doesn't need to be given out. And
Okay.
so,
Well,
so
she's
it,
definitely happy about that they got people inside the government
right.
for something, for someone.
Mhm.
I would say that. Okay, good.
Oh, I was gonna say, which is interesting because what her quote was there at the end of the show, where she was talking on the phone, she's like, "Oh, we got access to all these things and this and that." This was exactly what Zemo was after when they started the Thunderbolts. The exact thing that she got,
Oh,
which is interesting because apparently at some point the Thunderbolts ended up turning into the Dark Avengers. Dark Avengers? And all of those, and so it just kind of brings up so many questions with what exactly is going on here with all these characters that they're kind of talking about and everything. And that's why I say, like, who is Eleanor working for, and who is her character exactly within the larger scheme of all this? Because
okay.
it would seem like she's like, were we seeing that I feel like Jack Duquesne is kind of the pawn here. Like, I think he doesn't have any clue. Like, they said he's the CEO of this Sloan Corporation, and this is what's his name? Kazi is working for. Do you think he even knows any of that? You think he knows he's CEO of that company and that he's bossing those guys
Uh,
around?
he's very good at playing dumb. The way he's like, "Oh, you're Archer." That's you know damn well that was Hawkeye. Look, come on now.
Yeah, and it just and it makes me wonder, like what I mean, does he really have a larger role in this? I mean, is he sinister at all, or is he just kind of like just kind of
Nah,
the fall
man. The way
guy?
he
Is he the fall guy?
downstairs, he was talking to Armand in the winery. He's sinister.
I don't know. I mean, I think when he was talking to Armand, I think he still seemed pretty dim. He seems kind of dim-witted about all of it. And I almost don't even think it's an act at this point. I kind of almost feel like he really is that. They're kind of like, and they're doing a good job of that, leading us to believe that he is just kind of, and maybe that's all he is because maybe it really is all the mother.
Who agrees with what Trinity's saying right now? Like he just has a knack for swords, and that's why he took Ronin's little switch-bladed sword. You don't think he's really mad now that Clint had got it back? Like I don't know. This guy's pretty shady to me.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's. I think to me, it's just because her mother seems so much more shady. I think that's what it is. Now, the other thing that I noticed, and just another theory out there, I thought was very interesting as well, and I'm not sure that he's related to any of these people either. Is I was thinking Fred Myers, Boomerang. We've seen boomerangs in this episode. Like in Maya's apartment, they had little like boomerangs hanging there in the background. They're talking about the boomerang arrows, and I'm like, is he one of those characters they could be bringing in through all of this as well? I feel like there's just so much mention of characters, and
Yeah,
some like I feel like after watching the MCU and theorizing about so much stuff, every single thing that you hear sounds cryptic when you hear like, oh, is that a mention of a character's name? Like even like 268 was the tag on that watch. I'm sitting there like looking up Avengers number 268. Does this issue have anything to do with this show? Did they pull some story thread from it? Like I don't know, man. There's just a lot of stuff.
I,
Like I feel like there's a lot going on here while there's probably not really much going on at all.
I think definitely the boomerang thing was a reference to comic books where there is a boomerang arrow, and it is actually used against Clint Barton, or not against him, but for him when he was being captured. They pointed it. She pointed it up at him, and Clint's like, "No, no, no, don't shoot at me," because the guy had him like at gunpoint. She shot the arrow up, understanding it was a boomerang arrow. It came back and it hit the guy keeping Clint hostage.
Mm-hmm.
Boomerang arrow. It always comes back. It was a whole joke for like the whole issue. So you're reading into something, an Easter egg, and it's for comic books.
All right. Well, see, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. See, he actually read the book. I didn't do my homework.
Here, I narrated it. Now I'll show you the images where there's Clint down there, there's Kate up there, and there's the red car you can kind of see in the corner. That's the one that they didn't take, but they actually did take during the show. And where she shoots it. Where is it? It's the next page over. She decides to shoot it up, and it turns back around because it's a boomerang arrow, and it knocks him out. And he's like, "Yeah, it's called the boomerang arrow. It always comes back. Yay!" Okay, that's the.
All right, good deal. And look, Streamlabs and Skype is doing its thing again. You're going all Ant-Man on us.
Oh boy.
But hey, at least everything is still going relatively smoothly. But let's get into the chats and see what everybody else is saying really quick. Again, thank you all so much for being here. Make sure that you smash the like button. Make sure you tell everybody to come hang out. Come check out me and my friend Chillmonger talking about Hawkeye. Tell him to go subscribe to Chillmonger. All his information is down there. You can go find it. It's all there. All right, in the description. All right, let's see. I see we've got my man Mike Porter in the building. Myron Bryn, thank you so much for being here. I think it's the first time I've seen you here. I see you got my man Reefer Man Reviews, as well as Perp Minded in the building, as well as Justin Simone, Lucas Texvenger. Let's see who else we got here. Join the chat. Looks like that's it so far. What is everybody saying? Mike Porter's.
Mike is asking whether Canadians celebrate Christmas. They do. I don't, but they do.
All right. Yeah.
The North Pole is basically on our land.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I mean, Russians might have something to say about it, but...
Well, isn't Santa Claus Russian?
Whoa. Canadian flag is red and white for a reason, buddy.
Well, I mean, but I'm just saying, I mean, didn't you ever see Rise of the Guardians? Where, like, it seemed like Santa was very Russian in that.
Propaganda. You know his actual postal code, if you want to send a gift to Santa, is HOHOHO.
Oh, really?
His zip code. Yeah, his
funny.
zip code is HOHOHO.
Well, it was Alec Baldwin who was the Russian Santa Claus, so, you know, you might be right. You might be right. Justin Simone says, the show gives me so many mixed feelings. Knew we'd get Yelena. The Watch has information. Hawkeye's wife is a former agent. Oh, God. How fucking whack. Agree with Challenger. Come on. She wants what? Oh, I think that's supposed to be probably with Chillmonger. Probably autocorrected there. Agree with Chillmonger. Come on. She wants to kill Clint, but let's not Disneyfy this shit. Yeah. Well, and that's what
I agree with Challenger.
Yeah. And I think again, I think that was one of the things. Like, I mean, she obviously didn't want to kill Clint, because if she would have just sniped him out right there.
I hope.
I would think, Lucas Texvenger saying what's up. Justin Simone says that's the problem with this show and the MCU in general. The cliffhangers, reveals, end credit scenes, movies and shows. Hold on more weight. Hold no more weight anymore. Shang-Chi and credit with Katie. Lame AF. I don't know. I mean, obviously there's something to that scene, but yeah. You know what it is? I mean, again, I think it's because the way that they're going about expanding the universe even further here through this this next phase of films in this whole phase 4, they're rapidly expanding, which is something they have to do. And I think they're doing their best to find their way through it. And again, I think overall, I think the writing in this show and everything has been far superior to what we've had in these other episodes, which I think was largely due to the pandemic. I think there's just a lot of things going on right now with it ultimately. But I get it if people don't like some of this stuff that's going on here. I mean, there's some of it, like I said, not all of it has been good. Like I wasn't impressed with the Loki series whatsoever.
Nope. One of the weakest things that Marvel's put out.
Yeah. Mike Porter says, "Welcome to Christmas season. Merry Christmas." Does Canadians celebrate? Okay, we already got that one. Justin Simone says, "Go rewatch Netflix shows. The cliffhangers actually have some intensity, not just the R rating." Yeah, yeah. Center Raider White. Yeah. Even Iron Fist. Yeah. I'm not crazy about going out and rewatching any of those shows, but Mike Porter says it's the most wonderful time of the year because of Christmas. No, because of football. No, oh, because of the MCU. Yes.
Your license to shill has been renewed for another year. Good job.
Yep, got that license to shill. Perp. My man, he says, I have a wild theory. Maybe the person that actually killed Echo's father was Bullseye. If you think about it, if you've seen all of Daredevil, how crazy a reveal would that be? That would be pretty. That would be pretty crazy. That would be like killed. What do you mean? Like, oh, killed Echo's father? But I mean, didn't we see that it was Clint or in the show?
That somebody was wearing a mask. That would be a big swerve.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike Porter says Swordsman is cool. He's shady, and he says both are shady. Yeah, he just made the look shady. He's an incompetent male. Duh, says just yes, of course he is. Of course he is. The main boss is not the Kingpin. It's the Penguins. Says Mike Porter.
That would be a big swerve. That would be bigger than Bullseye showing up. I think Bullseye
Yeah.
showing up would be like the ultimate fan service. Kingpin is kind of more of expected, but if Bullseye comes, bro, that's like people are gonna want to watch Netflix. They're gonna actually have more subscribers for that streaming service just to catch up on what they're missing out on.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, and here's another thing too. Like even thinking of like Bullseye, even if he does show up, like they kind of referencing that too, hitting the bullseyes, everything that we got going on here. I mean, we're at this point we're essentially talking about marksmen. You know, we've got the swordsmen, we've got the archers here. We've got all these different. Like I said, it seems like they're bringing in, just from what we're hearing, bringing in a lot of these characters very very rapidly into the MCU.
Hey, I wouldn't mind another arrow guy. Imagine an arrow gets shot into the thing and it's Hawkeye's, and then the other one is Kate's, but then a third arrow hits and they're like, "What? That wasn't me." And it's like some other guy with better accuracy from all the way far away. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had does he have trick arrows, Bullseye? No.
I don't think so. I mean, not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Well, hey, they made a point in this episode to tell us that we had no more trick arrows left. However, I remember she was like, "You have 4 more dangerous arrows in this" during the car scene chase. And I don't know if she used 4 other arrows, right? Where did they waste these 4 arrows? Because there's no more trick arrows.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. Very
Huh?
interesting. You know what?
What's because
Oh, go
that
ahead.
was what she said after the incineration arrow that kind of turned the car upside down. She said, "You have 4 more dangerous ones. Maybe the Pimtech one was more dangerous. At
Yeah.
least 3 more. I don't think the gooey one. I don't know if it is."
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. Um.
Hmm.
Also, one of the things, and it came back up in this episode, and it makes me wonder if this is something. Is this what's going to bring Punisher into the MCU? Also, is through this series where maybe, just maybe, does Frank Castle come in to get justice for all the firefighters and police workers, the first responders of New York who look bad by looking like they take and lift items from places that they go to put out fires when the LARPers stole the Ronin outfit?
The LARPers.
Is he going to come back and exact justice on the people who made him look bad?
Yeah, is he a LARPer?
You're right.
Hey, the way that they utilize the LARPers here is like I can see fans being offended because the LARPers are a joke and they use costumes and to ask them, hey, can you make us the new Hawkeye costume? It's like, what, Marvel, are you afraid? Are you ashamed of what comic book stuff represent? This is just like when Peter Parker laughed at Dr. Octopus's name in that trailer. You guys just don't seem to respect and honor the old things. I feel like there's gonna be that contingency coming out. I understand the roots of it, but I don't uh whatever, man. They're flashy outfits. They are stupid. If you're trying to be a superhero, especially as Clint has said, he's trying to be discreet. This actually makes better sense to me. Way more logical to me than comic book stuff when he's in his bright violet suits.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll have to be the LARPers who get him into this suit.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. We got Skip and Tosh says, drunk off eggnog. Cheers, y'all. All right. Man, it's early in the morning. I know you're on the West Coast too, man. It's like 8:30 in the morning, bro. You you really done with that eggnog already? Hey, I'll go it if you are. It's okay. I've drank in the morning
Hey, I'll
before.
drink it with you.
One thing about Alec Baldwin, he's a straight shooter. Too soon, says Mike Porter. Oh, dang. Oh, Mike Porter. That, like, I kind of feel like that was pretty terrible, bro. Like, you should probably apologize for that. That wasn't very nice. Is he more accurate than Hawkeye? Oh, dang. Hawkeye is still the best in my opinion so far. Yeah, I think of the series so far. I think it's still the best so far. Yeah. The character development is best out of Disney Plus series in my opinion. So far, Clint and Kate come off really organic. Yeah, definitely. Star Wars MCU OG, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I agree with that too. Like I said, the writing in this series has been great, like with the character development and what they've done with that. Like I said, I think they've listened to critics and just everything across the board when they've heard people criticizing bringing in some of these characters and things like that, whether that's from the comics or even in the movies. I think they're listening, and or at least these particular writers were in getting this stuff right. I think.
And they're also adapting it off of a pretty good comic book series too.
Yeah.
And that helps.
Yeah. Pothole, good catch, Chillmonger. Oh, on which one? Oh man, see that was a few minutes ago.
About the 4 arrows.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Or the weapons thing, right? That was another one. Or using an elevator and texting when you know that there's cameras all over the elevators. It's a lot of plot holes that I caught today.
Right. Aggressively relaxing wants to know, did you guys see Mephisto?
Yep. He was in that elevator.
Yeah, Mike Porter says the LARPers will fight them at the end. I think they'll definitely be. You know what? They're gonna do a Three Amigos thing. They're gonna take the Three Amigos idea and use it against the people here. I think you're probably wrong. I think you're probably right on that. Still, man, do you remember what movie that was from? Well, I can't remember. Like in the Three Amigos, what movie they got that from? It was from one of those Three Amigos movies. The show has definitely been the best. Yeah. Mike Porter says, I love Loki. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, again, I still wonder though. Like it does make me wonder though. I mean, getting back to, I guess it was a while ago. We are talking about Eleanor. When she was threatening, it seemed like she was threatening Clint. But then, like, who is it that she's working for? Because I kind of feel like I was saying, I don't feel like it's Jack that's in charge of the tracksuit mafia here, and I'm honestly even kind of wondering, does it even have anything to do with her mother at this point? Just like her mother seems too shady about something else. Again, I don't know. It seems.
You don't think they're working together either, though? You don't think that's like who's the boss? Kingpin, if you're asking me who. But to see them dancing and having a fun family moment in front of Kate, who's sitting on the couch,
Right.
and then she says something like, "Christmas needs to be spent with the family." What? That's how you ruin the holidays. And then Kate has this brilliant idea. Why don't I go visit Clint?
Yeah.
You don't think that they kind of coerced that thought into her head? 2 leaves just so that they can do their funny business. They're not at home right now. When Kate left the house, so did they. They're doing their funny business. We'll see how the tracksuits react to Kate the next time we see the tracksuits in there interact, because they may have just gotten orders. Oh, we were told not to touch Kate Bishop
Right.
because of mom.
Right. And
But
right. And see, and that's kind of thing because I feel like the tracksuit. I don't feel like they would be trying to harm Kate Bishop if they're indeed working for her mother. Let alone if they are indeed working for Jack Duquesne. He just seems, like I said, he just seems too. I don't know. He just don't seem like, unless he's just really playing the idiot that good, the useful idiot that good, that
Mhm.
he's going to pull a fast one on, which easily could be. I mean, that's what he did in the comics. You know, was trying to backstab Clint and all that stuff. So I don't know. It just some of it just seems too convenient, but some of it still leaves questions like, why would she want these people to go out there and harm her daughter? Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, it could be several different things all together. Maybe they're both working for different organizations and have different motives, and somewhere they just
That's
happen,
possible.
and maybe somewhere they just happen to cross in their interests, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Making fun of the Mandarin's name. Too funny they didn't do this disrespectful shit when Stan Lee was alive. Coincidence? Mm, I mean, maybe. I
What was Stan?
probably not.
What was he gonna do?
Right. Mike Porter says I love WandaVision. Um, Still like WandaVision more than Hawkeye. Probably number two. Uh, I like WandaVision. Like I said, it was probably definitely one of my favorites so far. Like I said, at this point, I got to
You
see
know,
how this series ends up.
everyone is everywhere with their rankings, and some people are liking Hawkeye more than I am, and some say WandaVision was great, but I was like, yeah, what about those first 3 episodes? Loki is on the bottom tier of the 4 shows. I think Falcon's really high. Some people say Falcon is not that high, and it's one of the worst. It's unique how this is like hitting everyone's taste buds.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We got Tristan in the building as well. Thank you so much for being here, Nerdette. Hope all's going well. Mike Porter says I will love Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, man, the dude, that's coming up so damn fast. Like I didn't realize that's already next week. That's already next week, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Um, God, and I can't think of any other questions that I have coming out of this episode. Is so much of it seems. I think we've kind of covered most of it. A lot of it seems very
Yep.
straightforward. Again, I don't think they're doing anything too big and cosmic in this series.
No, they have very inexpensive effects. Do you remember the hearing aid and how in some episodes prior they would show you that, oh, look, this is what he can hear because they turn off the sound? Well, the way that they did it here in this episode, when he kind of just relaxes and says, I'm going to take a break, put these vegetables on me, and just unwinds. It wasn't it very reminiscent of Star Wars with those bombs that Jango Fett used? Do you remember those?
Hmm.
Those quantum things? It was like, oh, yeah. You can just kind of take away all sound. It's not expensive. This is the cheapest trick you can do, but it feels so weird.
Right.
And especially when there's like suspenseful music and it just goes away right away. You're like, whoa, what just happened to me? Yeah, headphones too. Woo. I love that effect. And that's just something that you can't. Who thinks like that? You know, that's a unique thing because we don't get movies that do this. The only guy who ever done it was George Lucas, and they repeated it in Mandalorian.
Hmm. Yeah, just very interesting stuff. One of the things, speaking of stuff like that, one of the things that I find is kind of been irking me, and it's like some of the stuff that is with like the soundtrack, in the background, like like the is where or I guess the score, you will, if you will, in the background, is this whole thing, and I know I'm pretty sure it's Christoph Beck they have doing like, is this whole thing what they do with the music. Like I noticed it's been in most of these series here so far on the Disney Plus. Is this whole thing they do with the music? It sounds like very kind of spatial and very, like, I don't know. It's at this point it's almost irking me. I'm like, we need to get somebody
Oh,
new
really?
here in to bring some, some, yeah, it's like, and I could probably pull scenes out of all of these shows where they do kind of this stuff with the score. I'm just kind of like, man, like just change it, I don't know.
Okay, I recognize one musical moment. When Gamora died, there was a song that played in Infinity War. They played the same for Black Widow during her death in Endgame. And then they mentioned Black Widow in this show, and when they
Yeah,
talked about her, I heard that music one more time.
yeah,
I was actually kind of surprised that
yeah, yeah.
Hawkeye got to tell her that story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they used it right there too. When she was hanging there off the ledge, and he was sitting there getting ready to pull her back up. They played it.
They did,
They
yeah.
played it there too.
And it was very thoughtful of Yelena and thoughtful of Echo to cease fighting so they can have that moment, look down Simba, and he cut her off. It was
Right.
very thoughtful. And then
Yeah.
how quickly she just ran back up those stairs. Like I told you, it wasn't a very tall building,
Right.
but how quickly Kate got back up there, wasn't really tired after minutes of fighting, and plus, running up those stairs. She's got some good quadriceps. She must bike, Trinity. That's the thing. That's
Absolutely.
you cyclists. You
Absolutely.
guys got those, yeah, lower body strength. So she makes it all the way up, and I'm plot convenience, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, like you've been pointed out several here. I mean, like I said earlier, I think the biggest thing for me was like, why didn't she just snipe this dude out if she's out to kill him? You know?
Yelena, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And how lucky of us we got to see that the person who was trying to kill Clint got unmasked. That was great for us. Now we know who it is. You know,
Right,
it's just convenience, man. They got to think these things through when you're going to include a character. Okay, what has the character been through? She snipes, doesn't she?
right.
Ah.
Hmm. I also, I mean, just even thinking about that, it does seem kind of funny. Even just thinking about that when she goes and takes the dive off that little short building. Then when she took the plunge off out, she's like, "Ee," and it's like, okay, well, I guess that wasn't really that far of a fall anyway. But like, okay, I don't know, man. Yeah, good
Are
stuff.
you surprised that maybe Clint was drinking the eggnog just like you, Skip and Tosh, but I'm surprised that he kind of revealed the information. The greatest shot I ever took was the one that I didn't take. That I like hearing the story, yes, but that I think that she was worth hearing that stuff. And you revealed you used to be Ronin also to her. Ooh, yeah, I don't know, but Hawkeye, 3 days of knowing somebody, 4 days isn't enough to give that information up, man. That's not good. You should know better.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when her stepdad, where he's getting down with this tracksuit guys. Come on, Clint. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the alcohol speaking. It was the
That
eggnog.
was it.
It was the eggnog. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, again, I don't think this was the best episode out of the four so far, but I do feel like we got enough in this episode that's going to definitely bring all this to a head here in the next episode. I expect pretty much all the fireworks in the next episode. Um, next week. What about you?
Hmm. I do expect it. I also saw somebody tweet that spoilers, but no way, they didn't say spoilers. They just said that episode 5 is rumored to be this greatest episode ever. I saw that tweet. All right, cool. Yeah, I did enjoy the episode as much as I'm complaining about things. I could still tunnel vision and find what I enjoyed about it. I just wish they cleaned things up. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I think I do. Now that you mentioned, I do think I heard something about that as well with the episode 5, which really makes sense. I mean, it's because the last episode is gonna have to wrap everything up, so it's probably gonna just kind of be like the fallout and everything, like the end of what was happening in episode 5. So yeah, and
Easily going to be a cliffhanger ending too.
yeah, yeah, and next episode they're probably definitely going to have the whole a post or a mid credit scene in there,
Yeah,
which
where all I got to do is hover my mouse over to the very side of the screen and go, okay, yeah, look, there's more scenes shown.
yeah, what's funny is at the very end of this episode, I actually felt like it was getting there. Like it was giving me the vibes, like, are they really gonna put a scene here? Because like leading up to when they actually rolled the credits, I was like, no, it feels like they're gonna do it, and I was like, okay, they didn't do it, but it felt like they were going to. Like they teased me
Yeah,
with it
they
this
did.
time, even though I
Yeah,
kind of knew it wasn't gonna happen.
it was better than what we got in the last week's episode where they tried to make you think that Clint is going to fight the swordsman. And you're like, no, I don't. And sure enough,
Yeah,
the beginning of this episode, what? Oh, look, You're Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Yo, what the hell's going on here?
yeah,
Let's talk. Sit at the table. He was just here to use the washroom,
yeah.
or not the washroom, the bathroom, as you Americans like to call it.
Yeah. It's a bath. Well, I mean, there's a bath in a lot of them when you're in the at a house or an apartment. You know.
There's a bath, yeah, but then there's also the extra one that doesn't have a shower in it. And what you call that? Is that a restroom?
Oh yeah, it'd be a restroom. Yeah,
Is that the
restroom.
John?
Yeah,
That's not no British
the
people say that.
John.
The
It's the
John.
John. It's the John.
It's the John. It's the John. My
Hey,
name is John.
we got the walker in here.
Uh,
Yee! Oh, Sam, man, that was mean, wasn't it? Sorry, John Walker. You are Captain America. All right, let's see. I see we got Will Morgan joined the stepped in the building, as well as Kendall from Normies to Nerds, my man. Aggressively
hey,
relaxing in here as well.
hey.
Aggressively relaxing says, yeah, Marvel has never made fun of their villains' names before. I remember when I first started learning about comic book characters too. This must be a very exciting time for you all. Oh man. Mike Porter says, I can't rank the MCU. They are all wonderful. Signed sincerely, Mike, licensed to shill Porter. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they did that. They did that same music. Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, they need to change up the scores a little bit here.
No, I like the callbacks.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mind those ones, but it's like other things like they're doing with like the musical scores. Just like they need like Christoph Beck don't have to score all of your shows. You don't have to be your musical supervisor on all of them. But man,
Side note: do you know if Ludwig Göransson is doing Book of Boba Fett like he did Mandalorian?
you know what? I don't know. I'm guessing.
I hope
I
so.
was gonna say I'm guessing everyone's probably hoping so. Cause yeah, I think what he was doing with the Mandalorian was very good stuff. I liked it. I enjoyed it definitely. But do you have anything else, Chillmonger? What else you got getting ready to come out this week? What else you got coming up?
Hey, as usual on Saturday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, 10 o'clock Trinity time, I will be doing 33 burning questions, either Marvel or Star Wars. It depends on who my guests are going to be. I have to check with people, but join in on my stream. I'm also probably going to be reviewing. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This Inferno comic book coming out of the X-Men line. It's like the only comic I really, really care about happening over at Marvel Comics. So you can expect a review of that. If I'm not tired, it'll be up in an hour and a half. If I am tired, you might get it tomorrow.
All right. Fair enough. And yeah, I'm gonna be having a review for Hawkeye. I don't know, I'll probably be dropping that a little bit later, and I will have some new comic reviews coming up as well. Again, Chillmonger, thank you so much for coming on. Always a great pleasure talking to you, my brother. And all of you out there, thank you so much for being here. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. It's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But while you're at it, make sure that you know what? Actually, YouTube don't show me the thumbs down, so it hurts my feelings anyway. So do whatever you will. But you all have a good day. Go subscribe to my man Chillmonger.
And before you end, my friend SSJK.Sanctum is streaming right now and he's talking Hawkeye. So please join his channel, his chat if you can.
Absolutely. There you go. Go check out K. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.